The 2024 Cox Plate about to be decided at Moonee Valley. First contested in 1922. It's a who's who of Australian racing on the honour roll. So big, Davo, we couldn't fit it up on screen. Winks comes to mind with 4 victories, Kingston Town with 3.
Yeah, what a race it is this year as well, Marto. So many different angles. Love the 3-year-old angle, the international flavour, Via Sistina, and of course the tearaway Pride of Jenny.
Via Sistina had the midweek mishap, but you trust Chris Wallace. She's come through A-OK, comes through the Tab Turnbull Stakes. She's flying at the moment.
Yeah, she is. And she had that little hiccup midweek, as you said, at track work, and also second up this preparation where she was flat. But this was a great win, wasn't it? She was off the canvas to beat Buckaroo, Duke de Sessa here. They've both come out and Quinella'd the Caulfield Cup. Not only Quinella'd in the Caulfield Cup, they put an absolute gap on the rest. So I think this is the elite form. I think it's the right form. And I know she's been well beaten both runs against Pride of Jenny, but she's had excuses.
You're most worried about the Japanese raider in prognosis, form around last year's winner back home?
Yeah, exactly right. It'd be interesting to see where he settles. There's a lot of talk about him getting a long, long way back. And if that's the case, that's going to be a concern. But he's got the class. We've seen the Japanese horses come over here before. Luz Grasseur, of course, and a number of others come over and be so good. Broadsiding, didn't get around Caulfield. There's been worse 3-year-olds that have won a Cox Plate. There's no doubt about that. And Pride of Jenny, the tearaway leader, she's on the quick back up. Her run in the King Charles was outstanding. Great race, but Via Sistina for me.
Mr. David Gately is live at Moonee Valley as the atmosphere builds. Gator, you're tipping the 3-year-old Broadsiding.
Yeah, look, we love the velodrome of that is Moonee Valley, and great to be out here for Sky Racing on the greatest 2 minutes in sport. I think it's still my favourite race, the Cox Plate, and this year is a fabulous rendition. Brad's touched on the key players there, and the crowd building. You'll hear a big roar as the gates open very soon. They've just left a mounting yard behind me, heading out onto the track. I'm with the 3-year-old Broadsiding, as Brad referenced, just didn't get around the Caulfield track. His late work was good, and I'm seeing it similarly that inferior 3-year-olds have run really well in this race, and perhaps in races that don't have quite this sort of depth. So I think he can run really, really well here. Via Sistina, well, she was exceptional last start, fighting off Buckaroo, and he was the run of the year for mine in the Caulfield Cup in defeat. Certainly prognosis, if he can test Romantic Warrior, who won this race last year, he can certainly win this. And on his world rating, he's right in any race he contests on this globe. And Pride of Jenny, amazingly, she's my 4th bag. She's going to give a great sight. What a race it is every year, and this year, no exception. I'm going with the 3-year-old, but a stack of hopes.
And Broadsiding, your top pick, $6.50 this morning, late $7.50 into $6. But if you scan that QR code quickly on screen, you can have a maximum bet of $10 at the inflated odds of $10 for Broadsiding. Prognosis is the fixed odds favourite. $3.60 this morning, late $3.80 back into $3.50 with Tab. Pride of Jenny went up at 4, late $3.90 to $4.20. Via Sistina is $4.20 out to 5. If you know about Broadsiding, Mr. Brightside beaten a lip last year, $8.50 into $6.50 back to 7. The rest of big odds, one of the 3-year-olds evaporate, $26 into $23. Favourite there, Gator, is Prognosis. Chasing his first Group 1, but he's triple Group 1 placed, and he's won 3 Group 2s in Japan.
Yeah, true that, and obviously the Romantic Warrior form really easy to like, given what that horse did in this race last year. He won it. He didn't win it by 7. I mean, it was narrow, so I don't think he's got panels on them, but you know, if he can be 5 lengths off Equinox, he's probably the equal of any horse we've seen on this globe in the past 5 or 6 years, then he can win a Cox Plate. Damien Lane's been effusive week about him. He's been working to, in stylish fashion, and I just saw him in the parade here in the mounting yard as he went out. He looked $1 million.
He's first up, Davo, Prognosis, but all 7 of his career wins have been fresh, and 5 of the 7 wins have been at this distance range.
Oh, he's a fascinating horse, isn't he? And you've just got to respect anything that comes over from Japan, and I'm interested to see where he can settle. They've been working on his barrier manners, trying to get him out of the gates a bit better, and he's drawn pretty well today, so can he use that and settle in front of 1 or 2? We'll wait and see. Or will he be tailed off and a long way off them, turning for home and needing a lot to go right? But look, I think with these internationals, a lot of the time you can tell at about the 500 metres, if they're on the bit and absolutely bolting, you just go, yeah, they're just going to bolt, they're just going to win. And then some of them have just struggled to adapt and really settle in and handle Moonee Valley. race, so I think you'll know a fair way out if he's going to be in the finish or not.
Bookmakers in the last 15 minutes, Prognosis 360 into 340, Pride of Jenny 4 to 440, Via Sistina 5 and solid. Best back to beat all three is Broadsiding 650 out to 750 into $6.50 Gator. 23-year-olds have won the Cox Plate. Seamus Award, the latest in 2013, and 17 of those 20 came through the Caulfield Guineas, just like Broadsiding.
Yeah, they did that, and he ran, well in the Caulfield Guineas. Not as expected, given we all expected. Well, I certainly expected him to win that race and win it easily, given his class. I think of a horse like Castelvecchio, who tried to match motors with Liz Gracheur. I think Broadsiding's a better horse than him, and I think Liz Gracheur's a better horse than Prognosis. So might be a chance I'm overthinking it, but I think he's going to run very well.
So, Davo, with bookmakers, Prognosis and Broadsiding, the only two firmers. Via Sistina, your top pick, $5, has not budged.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Broadsiding, I mean, we're screaming out for a new kid, aren't we, to announce themselves as a star of Australian racing. It just might be today with Broadsiding. If you can just forgive that Caulfield Guineas run where he just didn't seem to get around at all, then he's going to be right there. It's exciting. I can't wait for this race. This is what racing's about, isn't it? All these different form lines, the internationals, the 3-year-olds. Can't wait for it.
This is the 101st running of the Cox Plate, the honour roll, as we touched on, a who's who of Australasian racing. First contested in 1922 and nowadays worth $5 million. The Atmosphere Electric, the Cox Plate looms with Matt Hill.
Week. But she's nice and settled going into barrier 4. So they're making a decent line. Royal Patronage is in, Broadsiding forward, Prognosis going into barrier number 5. And that will leave Kovalika. The 104th running of Australia's best race. The Ladbrokes Cox Place, and the field is set. Ready, Prognosis lifting. Crowd roars. They stand. Racing in the Cox Plate. Evaporates slow and almost stumbled out of the gates. Via Sistina away fairly. Royal Patronage led the race early. Pride of Jenny and Prognosis right up there, and driving up Evaporate made a line of 4 at the post. So Pride of Jenny steadily working across 4 deep on the first corner. They were followed by Mr. Brightside. Docklands the inside. 2.5 Via Sistina, Kovalika and Broadsiding last. So Royal Patronage led, 1600 to go. Pride of Jenny sits outside of it for now. Prognosis a length and a quarter away, third from Evaporate, who's kept 3 wide. A length and a half, Mr. Brightside. Docklands Via Sistina. Kovalika is second last. Broadsiding last. Pride of Jenny went to the front. Bottom corner, 1300 to go. And Pride of Jenny's put up 3 lengths now from Prognosis second. Royal Patronage passed by Evaporate on that corner. They were followed by Mr. Brightside, a length and a half to Docklands. Then Via Sistina. Next in the field, Kovalika and Broadsiding at halfway. Pride of Jenny is the leader in the Cox Plate by about 2.5 to Prognosis, keeping the mare in his sights. A length and 3/4 away, Evaporate. Then came Royal Patronage and Mr. Brightside as they run towards the 700 metres. Via Sistina's 7 off the lead at least from Docklands, Broadsiding, Kovalika. So it's Pride of Jenny, 600 metres to go. A length and a half to Prognosis, who's nice and close. They're 2 lengths in front of Via Sistina, who's coming into it. Mr. Brightside's coming with her, and then came Royal Patronage. Pride of Jenny grabbed by Prognosis, but Via Sistina now pushes the button on the outside and goes up and takes the lead. Via Sistina, 300 metres to go, puts up 2 legs. Prognosis, Docklands, Mr. Brightside, and then came Royal Patronage, but Via Sistina storms away with 150 to go. She's 5 legs in front. It's going to be a Cox Plate rout, and James McDonald, a century of the very best. Via Sistina by 7 lengths. Second Prognosis. Third in the race was Broadsiding. Mr. Brightside next. Then Docklands, Kovalika. Royal Patronage, Pride of Jenny and Evaporate lasts.
James McDonald roars as he gains his 100th career Group 1 as the streamers flow. Via Sistina, Gator dominance. And what a way to bring up the ton for the J-Mac.
Oh, the scenes here at the Valley are extraordinary. It looked an even race on paper. It certainly was not. A fast speed, and Via Sistina just gobbled it up. She joined in as if she just started the race at the 500 and raced away from a world-class athlete in Prognosis who looked like he was nailed to the fence. J-Mac stands up in the irons, which we've seen 100 times before in Group 1 glory. Those scenes will live in racing history forever. Great stuff.
Look at the balance. What a rider he is. He's the youngest ever to ride 100 Group 1s, and he's just the 5th jockey to do it after Damien Oliver, George Moore, Huey Bowman and Jim Cassidy.
Just goosebumps, Marto. Gator's summed it up so well. What a champion performance. What a champion jockey. That'll go down in history. Unbelievable. That's put a Japanese horse away. That's 3 lengths off Equinox, and she's just made him look second rate. What a performance. And James McDonald on the big stage. 100 Group 1s. Well done.
And he's also ridden the last 3 Cox Plate winners, Gator.
Yeah, there you go. And obviously, there were just echoes of Winks. People were mentioning that around the track here on course, of course, for Sky One today. And they were the memories that came flooding back for a lot of punters straight away. The dominance of that win from a mare who's clearly world class.
And a great decision to run after that mishap earlier in the week.
Exactly. Just overplayed, wasn't it? Everyone thought, oh no, but she was fine. 4 days later, and she's produced the performance of her life. That is freakish. I can't wait to see the time. I can't wait to see the rating, but that is world-class elite stuff.
He's a bit of a horseman, Chris Waller, career Group 1 number 168 as he claims his 5th Cox Plate. Via Sistina, breathtaking in the feature at the Valleys.
And all of them said, excuse my French, Jordan. I honestly can't believe it. I love this race. I love this place. And to win a Cox Plate with Chris Waller, who is my greatest supporter, and it's so special. It's so fitting he's brought up my 100s, and to do it in such a prestigious race like the Cox Plate, I'm blessed, so blessed.
You've been quoted as saying that privilege, the pressure you feel in these big occasions is a real privilege. I mean, that's so evident right now, isn't it? But you've partnered one of the best horses in the world. I mean, tell me more about her. What makes her so incredible?
She's got an unbelievable sustained speed, and I think it's a huge asset to have in this high-pressure race. The pressure was on from the get-go, and Jenny didn't have her piece. This horse has really worked really well here, even though I fell off her on Tuesday. She felt like she was gliding around the course really well, and I had a quiet first half, and I wheeled her out, kept her happy, and she seems just to grow a bit of confidence. And it was a Winks-like performance. So Charlotte, I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. You're both champions. I want you to go and enjoy this moment, but let me know first of all how you're going to celebrate this moment.
Look, I don't know. Honestly, I just feel so freaking lucky. I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I'm just blessed, and my beautiful family will be watching her. They'll be so over the moon. All my supporters. Can't thank everyone enough. I'm lucky to be in this industry and riding such wicked, unbelievable fast horses.
Well, I think everyone's very excited to see you, so go and celebrate, and well done. That was a very special moment.
George Daly, you've just strapped the winner of the Cox Plate. How does that feel?
Yeah, she was very good. Considering where we were at the beginning of the week, it's a bit of a change anyway.
Tell us, how long have you been with the team?
So I've been with Chris for 3 months now, and then came down with her from Sydney. So I've been down here about 2 months now with her, and she just got better and better for the 2 months.
When you were out there trying to catch her on Tuesday morning, can you believe you're standing here in this position right now?
Yeah, well, full credit to Chris and everyone, and Chris Harwood for coming down to ride her, Steve who rides her down here. No, awesome.
Your family would be so proud back home.
Oh, I don't know, they probably won't be up.
Chris Waller is with us. He's just keeping an eye on another mighty mare that he's brought to the Valley with the utmost success. He's heading out to be part of this moment with Via Sistina. who's just thrashed a world-class field in the 104th running of the Ladbrokes Cox Plate. And these are pictures that are going to reverberate around the racing world. James McDonald, 100 Group 1s, and he's the first jockey in 45 years. He emulates the deeds of his countryman, Brent Thompson, and in winning this great race on 3 different horses in 3 consecutive years. A handshake and a well-earned one at that from Moonee Valley Racing Club CEO Michael Brow. And what looked like disaster perhaps on Tuesday has returned on Thursday for a canter and now victory. And he'll share the moment with Mr. Zhang. A warm embrace with Sam Fairgrave, Bing Cox. And it's a moment to savour for Yulong, Chris Waller and everyone attached to the VS Sistina story. Chris, to see what we've just seen in such a dominant performance against such a world-class field on a Cox Plate. You've had some amazing moments in this game and at this venue, but I imagine this might supersede them all given what's unfolded since Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it was a big week. But I've just had full support from the owners, my staff, all the team, Moonee Valley. It's just been overwhelming. Yeah, there's not been any negativity, only positive vibes, and yeah, I'm so proud of her, so proud of her.
How pivotal was it to reset things, address what had happened on Tuesday morning? Just let Chris try and calm her down, given there's a lot of people around VS Sistina. She's dealt with quite a bit during the course of the week.
We don't need her running around.
We don't need another lap. She's done enough of them across the week. But how important was it to reset things in the immediate aftermath? Tuesday, you and James were fantastic, speaking to the media immediately. But then also, how pivotal was Marty Simon, Michael Brow opening up the track on Thursday to allow her to come back?
There's probably 10 key factors, and it's not anything else except common sense. Simple as that. Yeah, so we never lost faith, and just followed our instinct.
This is the hardest thing you've had to deal with in your time training?
Probably not. Getting started was pretty hard. I'm blessed to be training horses like this. So, getting started was a lot harder.
Chris, well done. This is an amazing performance in what has been a phenomenal career. Congratulations on your 5th Cox Plate.
Thank you.
What a performance. And to put that into perspective, the margin is significant of 8 lengths by 2 lengths, but the time of 2:01:07 smashes, obliterates, absolutely destroys the previous track record that was set by none other than Winks in 2017 of 2:02:94. So almost 2 seconds faster than what we saw from the best of Winks on that day of dry track.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get my head around it, BZ. It's just a staggering performance. 8 lengths eased down. Let's hear from James Cummings about broadsiding, who was brave in 3rd.
Defeat today.
He did. He was brave. He raced well. He followed the winner, but no sooner was he following her than she accelerated away. And broadsiding's just a young horse having only his 10th start, but he's improving, and take nothing away from outstanding accolades to the 8-length victory of VS Sistina, and he's 2 lengths astern of Prognosis. They're world-class horses, and he's acquitted himself well, but he's beaten a lot of good horses in behind him, and therefore he's acquitted himself very well in his first Cox Plate. But a class effort, and I think he's done his reputation plenty. I think he's done his reputation plenty of good in showing up for the fight.
He's done a great job. Well done.
Thank you.